Hi, I'm Robert Tolpe, and today I'm talking about plastic surgeons on TikTok. Specifically, the ones who evaluate women's bodies, make educated guesses about whether or not they've undergone certain procedures, and generally comment on their appearance, all without being their personal doctor, and most of the time, without their permission. Before I begin, I'd like to say that I don't think any of these doctors are bad people, or bad doctors for that matter. I'm just saying their behavior is rather inappropriate. So let's talk about TikTok plastic surgeons, shall we? Meet Dr. Anthony Yoon. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He's a board-certified plastic surgeon based in Michigan who has amassed over 7.4 million followers on TikTok by creating educational content about medicine, but he's most known for speculating about celebrity plastic surgery. I don't want to drag him through the mud alone here because there's so many other doctors who make similar content, but he is by far the most popular plastic surgeon that I know of on TikTok, and in the interest of time, this video will focus on him. Let's dive right into his content by observing a very popular TikTok where he assesses whether celebrities have implants or not, i.e., whether their busts are, to use the medical terminology, real or sus. I immediately noticed there's something missing from this video. Despite him being a plastic surgeon, I feel it's necessary to have some kind of disclaimer stating that he does not have access to their medical records and that he's really just making a very well-educated guess. If you notice, he doesn't always make a definitive statement 100% of the time because he hasn't examined these women, at least not to my knowledge, and he really can't be entirely sure what procedures they underwent based off of a couple of photos in some cases. I worry that people might take his word as gospel because of his credentials. I also question whether this is appropriate. Is it okay for a random doctor to comment on celebrity plastic surgeries? Well, in most cases, it isn't. Why? It's not because someone like Dr. Yoon isn't qualified to make judgments about plastic surgery. It's that the people he's making judgments about never ask for his professional opinion. In life, we judge people all the time, whether we admit it or not, and it's often based off of shallow things like someone's mannerisms or appearance. It doesn't necessarily make you a rude person if you have a thought about someone that's less than polite. It's whether or not you choose to share that thought with the world that determines whether you're rude or not. What I've noticed is that the likelihood that someone will say something inappropriate increases when a person is convinced that they are right. I think you see where I'm going with this. In the case of a doctor with many years of training, they might be more likely to make an inappropriate comment because they are convinced that they are right, and they very well may be correct. And in a facts don't care about your feelings society, the correctness of a doctor's statement might seem to excuse whatever impact their statement has. But, as I will explain, the accuracy of a doctor's judgment about someone is irrelevant to whether or not it is appropriate for them to open their mouth in the first place. Let's use an analogy to illustrate this. Imagine that a gynecologist is in line at Starbucks and smells a familiar scent. She taps on the shoulder of the person in front of her and says, "Excuse me, I'm a board-certified gynecologist and I believe that you have a yeast infection." I hope you recognize that what the gynecologist did was inappropriate. Her statement was correct and was evidence-based, but she shouldn't have said it because the person in front of her didn't consent to be medically evaluated. I would imagine that the doctor would have gotten a negative reaction from the people at Starbucks. But why do doctors online who share their thoughts about someone's undisclosed plastic surgeries receive so much praise? Part of the reason why is because the internet feels very different from real life. You can get away with saying stuff that you could never say in person. Despite how things feel online, however, TikTok is no different than a Starbucks. It's kind of a very big Starbucks. It's a public place. But that doesn't stop doctors from acting inappropriately online. While these plastic surgeons will gladly evaluate a stranger's body in front of an audience of millions, I bet you these doctors aren't pointing at people's chests in line for their coffee and exclaiming, "Ma'am, those implants look very sus. Don't worry, this is appropriate because I'm a doctor." They know that that wouldn't go down well. It seems that having the word doctor in front of your name really only excuses your behavior if you're online, or on TV for that matter. Shout out to Dr. Phil, Dr. Oz, and Dr. Drew. Besides their degrees and the online dynamic, these doctors have another thing that's working to their advantage. This content, where you judge celebrities for getting surgery, is in high demand. These videos get millions of views, and the comments are overwhelmingly positive. I even saw a comment saying that Dr. Yoon is doing the Lord's work. And I can see why someone would say that. These videos are entertaining partly because you get the feeling that these glamorous celebrities are being knocked down a peg, and you can get the satisfaction that if you were as rich as them, you could afford to look as gorgeous as they do. There is another reason why people enjoy this kind of content though. In a way, it has a greater purpose. That is, it reveals that not everything is as it seems. This is where I'm a little torn here. Certain celebrities, and I'm not naming names, actually, I will name names. Some celebrities have been completely quiet about their procedures for far too long, despite causing great amounts of harm to people's body image, because they present their appearance as an unattainable beauty standard. Remember the Kylie Jenner lip challenge where people were literally splitting their lips open on shot glasses to try and get lips as full as Kylie Jenner's? Yeah. That's what it took for her to finally admit that she had filler in her lips. A video released around that time explaining how it's impossible to expand your thin lips to Kylie Jenner proportions without filler would have saved a lot of young people a trip to the emergency room. So, yeah, at some point, it is necessary to call celebrities out on their irresponsible behavior. And there is a right way to do this. You can focus on confirmed cases of celebrities royally messing up and where they have admitted to getting surgery. You could also focus on people who obviously underwent extensive procedures who have been dishonest about their surgical history, to the point of being very misleading and causing a lot of body image issues in their fans. These surgeons on TikTok, however, don't focus on the big important things. They seem more concerned about endlessly debating whether or not Taylor Swift had a breast augmentation, which is nothing more than inappropriate medical speculation. In my opinion, celebrities who have gotten minor procedures here and there shouldn't be mandated to publish their entire medical record, assuming their image is reasonably attainable. However, I do think celebrities sharing what procedures they have undergone is best practice and a very reasonable thing to do. It's easy to believe in the fantasy that influencers were born looking perfect, which is why it can be refreshing when they break the fantasy and sit down and talk about how they look as fabulous as they do. It gets complicated when a celebrity flat out lies about their procedures, however. We all know a celebrity who has a different face and a different body every week, and when confronted about it, they say, "I just go to the gym and work really hard." I notice that plastic surgeons focus on these kinds of people for their videos. They're kinda easy targets, and some find it fun to relish in their downfall at the hands of a doctor. But is it okay to comment about a celebrity's body when they evidently aren't forthcoming about the many, many procedures they underwent? On one hand, someone's dishonesty is not a blank check to treat someone like garbage. But on the other hand, the celebrity in question might actually be acting like garbage if they're just sitting around on their giant BBL rear while their fans go on insane diets and try dangerous trends to look like they do. Do we finally have permission to make fun of them? I hope we have permission, because I'll admit that I made some jokes about certain celebrities before, but maybe I'm a terrible person. I don't know. But I'm also not a doctor. I don't have patience. My words have no gravity when it comes to medicine, and I don't need to have any bedside manner. I feel like there's a different standard to be met here, which is why it's startling to see doctors make these jokes. Take a look at this TikTok, for instance. While it would already be weird and inappropriate to watch a random person do a comic spit take when seeing somebody's body, it seems extra weird to watch a doctor make a joke like that. It makes me wonder, would a doctor who makes jokes like that crack the same jokes around somebody's body in the operating room? These doctors are egged on by their fans too, who hunger for this savage behavior. They want to see people get roasted, which results in doctors creating videos that are simply mean. In this TikTok, Dr. Yoon duets another creator who made a video saying that Stormi, Kylie Jenner's daughter, will be angry when she grows up only to look as unattractive as her mother looked before she got all that surgery. We see Dr. Yoon laugh at Kylie's before pictures and say it's true. I dislike this TikTok almost as much as I dislike the Kardashian Jenners themselves. First of all, last I checked, Stormi had 2 parents, not 1. So why is it that Kylie is getting all the blame for giving her daughter the ugly genes? It's because she's a woman. Like, what even is this TikTok? Also, Dr. Yoon should really carefully consider how he approaches the topic of parents who have undergone plastic surgery. He himself is a father of 2 who has received extensive plastic surgery, according to the bio on his website. The before and after is truly astounding. Just as Kylie has to carefully navigate the topic of plastic surgery in her family, so does he. Which is why I wonder why he's laughing when he said himself that plastic surgery changed his life. I think it shows how much influence fans have over these TikTok doctors. At some point, it doesn't matter what their personal or professional experience is. Their life becomes controlled by their fans and by the views they get, and that can lead people down the wrong path. Again, I don't think these TikTok doctors are bad doctors. I just think that they should rethink their content. Hell, they could even make the same content. Just ask people if they want to be in the video first. I hope to see these TikTok doctors move towards more educational content than trying to chase views by making ever more inappropriate videos. Anyways, I'm Robert Tolpe, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And for a single dollar a month, you can support the channel over on Patreon if you like my content. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.